Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kodash. The honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone or Royal. Peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right, this lesson I'm going to get into, I'm just going to go with the Spirit. This is what I'm going to start with. This is Matthew chapter 19, verse 27. Then answered Peter, and if you don't know who Peter is, he's one of the main apostles, which, I would hope you know who he is, but, if you're new to the Bible for some reason, the true Israelites of the Bible, the chosen people, are so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, and the confusion of faces, which are people whose father's seed line, because it goes through your father, there's no such thing as mixed, it goes back to an Israelite, all right, and the Messiah, whose name is Yahawashi, which means he delivers or he deliverer, is going to come back and deliver the elect, which is 144,000, 12,000 men of each of the 12 tribes, along with the 1/3, okay, because 2/3 of Israelites have to die for the continual wickedness, and they have no sign of repentance, all right. And he's going to gather the elect from the four winds, meaning all over, all right, but mainly America, which is known as Babylon, and Egypt and Rome, Sodom, all these different things basically brought back. And he's going to gather them by so-called UFOs, which are the chariots that the Bible speaks about, which is where they get these ideas for so-called alien, which alien just means foreigner, alien invasions, and that's where they get that idea from the scriptures. Okay, but anyways, this is Matthew chapter 19, verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? Okay, so Peter's asking Yahawashi, basically speaking on behalf of the apostles or the disciples at the time, that they basically abandoned and left the world behind, left their jobs and their families, even so to speak, their friends, all of that behind to follow the Lord, all right? To follow Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. Well, specifically at the time, Yahweh's son, Yahawashi, okay, and Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which means he exists, all right, and Yahweh is above Yahawashi, but Yahawashi is the Messiah, all right, and you have to believe that, man, okay, you have to have faith in that. So basically he's saying, what are we going to get or receive for following you, okay? Because they forsook everything, just like we do now, all right? Coming into this truth, being chosen to come into this truth, we give up our jobs or school. Some of us give up literally everything, okay? And don't think that, okay, you got to give up everything you own and you got to live, off the land or something. That's not what that means, okay? But it's saying, there's certain things that we have to give up and we have to leave behind, whether that's our woman, our friends, our family, our job, school, sports, whatever other hobbies, because the truth comes first, all right, and it's a priority. And when it's a priority, it pushes everything else below it, okay? Because you can do things in your free time, but, once you come into this truth, a lot of your family members and friends really are going to begin to drift away from you, so to speak, okay? And so, I'll give a quick testimony. When I was in the world, I was into sports like basketball and football, mainly basketball. And I would go to the community center like really early every day, and I would practice a lot, man. Even though I didn't actually play on a team, and I also had a woman. I had friends that I hung out with all the time. I was, in my junior year, I decided to do online school about halfway through the school year. So I was doing online school, which I finished, but I was looking at getting ready to get a job and go to community college or something after I had finished my senior year. But then in the summer, after I was done with school and everything, towards the late summer, I had to move because I lived with my friend and his parents because, well, he was my friend, and his parents were even my friends, really, because they thought of me as part of their family because I knew him for so long. But I had to live with him and his parents, but eventually his parents split up, and I had to move away all of a sudden, and I had to leave everything behind, and I had to move away, far away from the city, up to my grandma on my mom's side, all right, she's an Edomite, so that's a challenge in itself. And I learned throughout this journey that we're different people, and that you can tell through the spirit who an Israelite is and who isn't. Okay, so I'm an Israelite. I found out I was an Israelite, and I got into this truth, and I literally left everything behind pretty much. I still play Xbox or go on social media sometimes and stuff, but basically, and I'm sure a lot of brothers can agree, we basically just we walked out of the room that the world was in. The world, just imagine the world, if you could sum up the world like the planet in the room with you. You just opened the door and you walked out and you never came back. Right? We forsake this world. But that's because this world is about to be passed away, okay? And we're waiting for the world to come. Okay? So, it's good to put the priorities first, because it's a wicked world. So T.R.O.Y, Yahawah for waking us up out of that gross darkness, all right, that most of the world is swallowed up in and engulfed in. So this is Matthew chapter 19, verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahawashi said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 tribes, or 12 thrones. I am slipping up. 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so let me read that again. And Yahawashi said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, which basically is reincarnation, basically, because you come back every 3 to 4 generation or so. Okay, now it's not like you come back as an animal or something. You come back most likely in your father's line. Okay, but you come back, all right. You come back as an Israelite, and you'd be doing the same thing that you were doing before. The prophets in the Bible, although some of them may have passed away recently, some of them are here today teaching, man. All right, but don't get caught up too much in who I am or what tribe I'm really from. That can be a side mission. If it's revealed to you, it's revealed to you. But don't trip over it. All right, the truth preaching, the true doctrine of Yahawashi, that's the priority. Okay. Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. All right, so it doesn't mean everything that Yahawashi said you're going to have to leave behind, but through the Spirit, you'll feel those things beginning to drift away and leave. Okay, whether it's all of a sudden or over time. Okay, maybe you have a woman when you're in the world. Now you came out of the world to come to the light. The light at the end of the tunnel, and you're, she's starting to see that you're spending more and more time with the truth and less with her, and she decides to, leave you or whatever, or you decide to leave her. Then that was just set up to happen. Okay. So, regarding the gross darkness that people are engulfed in, this is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahawah shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. All right, so we were called out of this gross darkness to come into the truth, man. All right, and we have duties, man. If you are a man and you've been in this truth for a decent amount of time, you should be going on the highways and byways and making YouTube videos. All right, I haven't been in the truth that long. I heard about the truth from a brother on Instagram in like August. Okay, and I eventually, after some months, I don't remember exactly how many, but it was a decent amount of months, I began going out. Okay, and I've been doing that ever since. I go out once a week and I do videos, all right, because that's our job, to push this truth, man. That's what we've been called to do, to be mouthpieces for the Lord, all right, so he can speak through us and wake up the rest of the elect. Lord willing, we are of the elect, and Lord willing that we can endure this journey, this journey continually and be delivered, all right, but we just need to stay diligent, okay? So, this is John chapter 15, verse 19. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hath hateth you. The world hateth you. All right, so, we were chosen to come out of the world, and we did. I was looking for a different precept, but that's the spirit. First John chapter 2, verse 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of this world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. Okay, so, and, so this whole world is vain, all right, and vanity. People thinking about, if you ever hear a question, I'm sure you have people ask, well, what are you going to do 5 to 10 years from now? Or what are your future plans? When you come into this truth, everything changes, man, because this world is upside down. So when you come in, everything turns right side up. You see that this world is completely wicked, all right, and you want nothing to do with it. So, for you brothers that are in the same situation as me, you're not going to school anymore, even though I didn't finish my senior year and I don't have a job, because I'm doing this truth, okay? And you look at it and it's like, I don't want to go get a job or anything like that. Not because I'm lazy, but because, I know that this stuff is going to be passed away, and I know that this, we're literally in the end times right now. Okay, all the signs are there. We just had a recent blood moon, which is spoken about in Joel chapter 2, okay, before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes, that there would be, the sun would be turned to darkness, which happened less than a year ago with the solar eclipse, the major one, that crossed over only America, basically, and then they said 7 years later, there would, in 2024, there'd be one that crossed again, and it'd make an X on America. But then this red moon, or the blood moon, was not viewable in North America. It was viewable everywhere else, though. So that's the sun being turned to darkness and the moon into blood. Okay? So all hell is about to break loose soon, man. And I mean, getting a job in this society is really just slavery. Okay, it is slavery. You're working for the elites, and for what? Federal Reserve notes, fiat money, stuff that isn't actually worth anything. It's just paper. Basically, it's literally, like I said, monopoly money. When if you've ever played Monopoly, it's like, yeah, cool, I got this money, but then, you feel good, buy this property, buy this, get more money, but then you realize it's all fake. So, let me ask you this, and obviously I can't hear what you say, but I kind of have a feeling I know what most of you would say. If you were playing if Monopoly money all of a sudden became the currency, and they told you, yeah, this isn't backed up by shit, would you still go to your job? Would you still work your ass off, throughout the week just to get Monopoly money? No, man, you wouldn't. All right, a lot of you don't realize that money has no value. Then you could say, well, yeah, but you trade Monopoly money in for food and for water to stay alive. But is this really living? I mean, we're dead in this world, man. Maybe not physically dead, but in the spirit, we're dead in this world, man. All right? This is not our rest, okay? And most of our people are dead in the mind, man. Because when I mean we're dead in the spirit, I mean metaphorically, okay? Because this is not our rest. This is not our kingdom. This is not where we're supposed to be building up, all right? Because if you've ever noticed, every time your life seems to be getting together, and you seem to have everything all figured out, all of a sudden you have to start all over again. Like you have to move somewhere, go to a different school. It's like your opportunities are always fading away, And that's set up like that because you're not supposed to be in the world, okay? So yeah, you trade in money for food and all this, but if you think about it, isn't that exactly what slavery was? Our people would work on the field and then they get to eat slop, all right? Which is basically what this is. It may look good, it may appeal good, but it's really a bunch of shit, Okay, everything's defiled. The food, the water, the air, it's all defiled. The real money is going to the elites. All right, the elites that rule the world, which are the Edomites, right? And you so-called white people collectively are the Edomites, all right? Along with the other heathen nations that are in rulership, but not as high up as them. Okay, because like I said, everything is upside down, which is why the Israelites are on the bottom when they should be on the top. And that's because we continually went off, all right? So really, you're in slavery. You're working to be alive, but the reason that they want you to be alive in the first place is so they can make more money off of you. They don't give a shit about you. That's why they set up all these hospitals and, try to preserve you, life support and this and that, try to get you out of comas because they just want you to work. Because if you're dead, you can't make them money, okay? And if you want to, accept that, or if you want to deny it, that's on you, okay? But the point is, you're a slave for the elites. All right, and once you come into this truth, there's nothing wrong with having a job or going to school in this truth, but don't make that your priority. And me, I'm, to admit it, I easily get caught up in things, man. So I feel like if I am just doing this truth, that this is going to be my main focus, and I won't have anything else in mind. I don't want to be, getting all caught up and confused in the lies that they teach in school, okay? Because like I tell people, if school was really that beneficial and that important for you as a person to be successful in your own eyes, and spiritually successful even, why would they make it mandatory for you to go to school? Because if it was really helpful, wouldn't people want and volunteer to go to school? That's just my man opinion on it, so to speak. If it was really beneficial and it really helped you with life in general, then you wouldn't need to be forced to go. You'd be like, well, yeah, I want to go because it's going to help me, But people don't realize that, man. And, I don't want to go to school because, first of all, I learned everything that they had to tell me. They told me basic math and this and that, but this knowledge and wisdom and understanding in the scriptures is more important. Like a president, I think it was one of the Roosevelts, he said that a understanding of the Bible is better than a college education, man. Because it is, okay? Because very few people in the world actually understand what the Bible's talking about, and if you do, that's a blessing, man. All right? I don't care what your GPA is or how many degrees you got. If you don't understand the Bible, then it doesn't matter, man. All that knowledge is in vain, all right? And it's all foolishness. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3. I'll start at verse 18. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, for it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Okay, so the wisdom of this world is really all vanity. Okay? Knowing these, and a lot of these, if you ever notice when you're in school, you would complain about how a lot of this stuff you won't even ever use. If anything, when you go to school, they should be training you for a specific job. Okay, this is what I want to do as a career choice, so they should train you to do those skills so you can be successful in it and you can move up in the ranks. But they teach everybody the same thing. And that's just ridiculous, because the thing is, they don't teach you how to think. They teach you what to think. They teach you what they want you to believe as right and wrong, man. All right, they want you to depend on them for the most part. But anyways, let's go to Micah chapter 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction. This isn't our time to be building up. This is our time, well, not physically. This isn't our time to be building up physically. Okay, let's raise a family. In the next 5 to 10 years, I see myself in a house with a job. No. All right, in the next 5 to 10 years, I hope to be in the kingdom, man. Okay? This is not our place to build up. Spiritually, I'm building up, man. Spiritually, I have a job, an occupation. All right? This is my life, man. This truth. And you should feel the same way, that this is your dedication. This is your breath, your life, so to speak. This wisdom and knowledge, man. The scriptures. Okay? This is how you live. This is how you conduct yourself by. This is how you strive, is through what the scriptures say. Okay? Because out of everybody in the world, Yahawah Yahawashi knows what's best for you, man. So if Yahawah Yahawashi took you out of the world, why would you fight that and go back in? That doesn't make sense. And what is the point? If you're in this truth, what is the point in going back in the world anyways? What do you have to turn to, man? You already heard the truth. America's about to be destroyed. You can see it manifesting clearly that sorrows are coming upon the world on every side. What do you have to turn back to, man? Nothing. There's nothing left in this place, and there never was anything in this place, man. This is not living. This is not life. Okay? My dad, Yahawah Yahawashi, had me call him finally, be able to get in touch, and finally made that possible, just so I could tell him the truth, because he has cancer and he's dying, he told me. So Yahawah Yahawashi had me call him literally just to tell him, the truth, and he rejected it, so he's being rejected. Okay, he's still worrying about getting a job or getting back his job to work when he has cancer and he's dying. That's how dedicated our people are to vanity, man. That's how foolish our people are. Okay, that's how destroyed they are. They'd rather be slaves than to actually have real wisdom and understanding, than to accept Yahawah Yahawashi. The truth is, our people would rather eat broken glass than to actually follow Yahawah Yahawashi and his ways, because when you follow Yahawah Yahawashi, to the world, you appear as a bum, or you appear as a loser, a reject, a failure, but really in the eyes of the Lord, you're doing the right thing, and that's what matters. What your neighbor, next door, or your friends think of you because you don't have a job or this and that, that doesn't matter. What matters is, how does Yahawah and Yahawashi view you? Do you think Yahawah and Yahawashi are going to care if you have a college degree? Or care if you have a 4.0 GPA? And another thing about school is, all it is remembering, like memorizing, regurgitating knowledge. That's all it is. You're not actually really learning anything. Because if you ask anybody, do you, they usually, and unless they're lying, they can agree that a lot of things they learn from school, they already forgot. Sometimes even a year after, man. That's why they have to constantly go over reviews, because you're already forgetting it. Because all they do is, okay, this is what we're doing this month. You're going to learn it, and then you're going to take a test. That's why they always have to go over reviews. Because if it was something that your body actually wanted to learn and constantly study, you wouldn't forget. Because notice, when you learn these scriptures through the Spirit and power of Yahawah Yahawashi and the Holy Spirit, you remember these scriptures. You remember what it says. You remember where they're at. All right, you don't need to be constantly reminded. That's because this is knowledge that your spirit wants. This is the knowledge that is actually beneficial and crucial for you to have. It sticks with you, man. This is life itself. Okay? So, it doesn't matter how people view you, all right? Yahawah Yahawashi wants you. He chose you to come out of the world to do the work for him. He didn't choose you to come out of the world to fall out and go back to the world. Okay? You have to have faith that these things will happen, because they will happen. Okay, but you really have to believe. You have to have faith that Yahawashi rose, that he got resurrected. You have to have faith that he fed a multitude with 5 loaves and 2 fishes. All right, you have to have faith that he's coming back to deliver you, man. All right. So, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. I was just going with what the Spirit, I didn't really have any specific thing necessarily I wanted to go over. I guess revolving around, what Peter's saying, what will we receive because we forsook everything. If forsook is, the things that we've forsaken, okay? But with that said, I want to give all praises to Yahawah bahasham, Yahawashi bahasham, Rakak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone of Ruel. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right, shalom.